Alright, this time I'm deciding to play Skyrim for this particular video. Yeah! And I'm not going to start anything new because I just can't be arsed for it. It's been a while since I played, and I just finished Serpent's Bluff Redoubt. And I'm going to make my way over here to Markarth, which is going to suck because that's a freaking cliff. So, I'm going to see if I can't... Oh, shitballs. No. Okay. Okay, I think I can navigate this. No. Yeah. Keep wanting to strafe. I've been playing WoW for too long. It's been ages since I played Skyrim. Anyway. So, what we're going to talk about today. Well, right now, at least. And bounce. That's a goat. I don't care about goats. Anyway. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I think that... Which one's that? Oh, yeah. Heh. I make my own weapons. But, I think this time I'm going to talk about my disillusionment with the Mormon Church, which is bound to be a highly entertaining one. Very much so. So, without further ado, let's go on and get onto it. So, I'll admit that I've talked at great length about the Mormon Church. Well, maybe not great length, but I've talked about it very often, and usually not in a very good light. I mentioned before that I grew up in the Mormon Church, and... Ooh, more animals. That I grew up in the Mormon Church. My grandmother and her side of the family, my grandmother, my grandfather, it's my maternal side, and, oh, mud crabs. And pull out that. Goodbye. And goodbye. Right in the claw for death. And my maternal side of the family was all Mormon. Well, most of them were. Well, of course, my mom being that way, and my father pretty much out of the picture, because he was working all the time, my mother would take me with her to church on Sundays. And that's an... Oh, shit. What the hell? Okay. No. Who the hell? Where the hell did you come from? Bitch, please. I will kill your ass dead. Anyway. No, I don't want Nord Mead. Why the fuck do you have this shit on you? But I grew up in the Mormon Church, and I went there at a young age. Went to primary. My mother actually breastfed me there in the mother's room. If that tells you anything. So I got exposed to it at a very early age. In fact, one of my best friends, pretty much the only real friend I had growing up, anyway, was also Mormon. His entire family was Mormon. And, oh wow. That's a saber cat. No. Ha! Suck it. But the entire family was Mormon, so I was exposed to a lot of Mormonist views. However, with the divorce that happened when I was 7, kind of ruined that. My mom went to church occasionally with my grandmother, but I was rarely ever there. So I never really, I wasn't really going on a regular basis. And I suppose that happened at a good time, because normally at the age of 8, you are baptized if you were born into the Mormon Church. So it happened just before then. Prior to that, however, or following that, after the divorce, as I said, my visits there were sporadic. On the rare occasions where I was actually with my mother at the start of the divorce. Later on, once it was all finalized and I was able to go on the every other weekend, again it was more sporadic. But at the time, we were doing a lot with my grandmother, who was helping my mother get by because my mother was having to do child support, which is a huge scam in general. Which that's probably something else entirely. It's well, not really so much of a scam so much as a gross miscarriage of justice. Um, Again, something else entirely. So she didn't have much money to herself. My grandmother was helping, and they would go to church, and I'd go every now and again. But it wasn't really enough to really indoctrinate me. Not to mention that once I got on to about 11 or 12 years old, and I'm going to those classes, I hated the fuckers who were in the class. The teacher was completely ineffective. She was a complete idiot. She stuttered horrifically, and I know that I do it occasionally too, but I'm actually able to be understood. This bitch, you had to take 3 translators, and even then you're lucky to understand her. So not a good combination there. Oh God, what's near me? Oh, it's a horse. Who the hell are you? Oh, you're Imperial soldier and a noble. Alright. Your ass is grass. Come on. I don't care. Suck it. Murder, you say? Ha ha ha! You saw that. Oh. It was the horse that saw me. Alright. There's the Imperial soldier. I'll take the cloak. All those steel arrows. Anyway. So back to the topic of the Mormon Church. Obviously, you can tell I enjoy being. Is your? Oh, look at that! Right in the back of the neck. I'm just gonna steal this horse. Oh. Anyway. So I went sporadically, and when I turned 14, I decided that I wanted to go and live with my mother. Mostly because, at the time, I was heavy on drugs. And by drugs, I mean ADHD medication. Which, the latest at the time medication that I was on, screwed up my stomach so bad that I woke up with morning sickness from the time I was in 6th grade for the rest of my life. Yeah. When I was in school, when I was going through middle school and high school, I was waking up with morning sickness 4 out of 5 school days. Once I got to college, though, I was waking up with it maybe 3 times a month, if that. So we found out from that there was a stress component to this morning sickness slash whatever the hell it actually was. In retrospect, we probably could have sued the company for that, for being a permanent fuck up to my stomach. Get off there. It'll run away. Well, fuck you too, horse. But yeah. But I wanted to live with my mom because I felt a lot more like me when I was with her. I didn't have to do anything. Like yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a threat to me, ass. But 14, I decided to live with my mother. Father didn't like that at all. And, at the time there was a war of attrition going on there. As you can see, I'm level 58, yeah. There was a war of attrition going on at that point. And just to stick in my father's craw was, I decided to get baptized in the Mormon faith. And I realize that now. At the time, I thought I actually wanted to do it because, religion. But no. So I got baptized. He didn't like it. Tried to annul it. And it didn't happen. I had really bad hair back then. Whew. Which that was 7 years ago. That was back when I couldn't keep it long like I do now. Who the hell are you? What the hell? I don't remember this shit happening. Oh yeah, you show up way too late. I'll have to investigate them in a second. But I choose to get baptized in the Mormon faith. I listened to it. Kinda believed it, kinda didn't. Kinda sorta made sense at the time. Yes, I saw what happened. But I was baptized. Didn't really believe it. Didn't really do anything with it. But after I go into college, and I find out I'm gay. So then that really started the disillusionment that I had with the Mormon Church. And really the disillusionment that I got with any sort of real religion. Because at that point, once you start realizing that anything that you believe conflicts with who you are, then you really have to give question to it. But I'll take that from you. Oh, I'm sure you will. Bullshit. What's in here? Oh. Damn it, I thought it was the door somewhere else. So I'm 18, and I'm starting to realize the fact that I'm not bi. I mean, I kind of already... during through the high school years, I realized I liked guys. Didn't really think much of it. I mean, at that point, I had kind of rationalized it as being the fact that, hey, I can still get with the girl. That's that. Nothing sinful about it. Deny those homosexual urges. We're good. Then I realized after a convention held on Halloween when I made out with a girl. Thought she was amazing. And yeah. I was dead. Not a twitch, nothing. So, not really much to do there. But I realized I was gay. And again, like I said, disillusionment began there. And I started questioning about faith. And I kept doing it, but it didn't really matter because I hardly ever went to church at that point. So I didn't have to... I came to everything on my own. I was not hampered by religious thinking, which is really something that annoys me. As you can see by my previous video, Religion Begets Stupidity. I like that title. But, as I said, I began to be disillusioned but once I became gay. Once I realized I was gay. There we go. Fuck you, English language. Fuck you, stuttering tongue. Once I realized I was gay, that Mormonism was wrong. And quite frankly, anything that says being homosexual is wrong. Is wrong. But this is about Mormonism. So, over the next couple of years, didn't really do anything. But this, in 2012, January 2012, my asshole of a stepfather decided to leave us, walk out on my mother, and leave her high and dry over something that was his complete misunderstanding. She tried to rectify it, and he, in his ignorance and pig-headedness, refused to understand anything at all. So, completely his fault. There was some abuse involved. Um, and at this point, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, no, I'll do it at the end of the video now that I think about it. Just a nice big fuck you to him. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's treasure chest over here. I don't care. There's chests here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do do do. My sneak is so high. But he left us. Eh. Ooh. He left us. And Mother and I were left to fend for ourselves. Which was... It was painful. I used every bit of money that I'd saved up from college, from where they had overpaid me for my classes from multiple sources. And she had sold every piece of gold and silver she had. And we made it 6 months with her trying to find a job. And it didn't work. So we went to the Mormon church for assistance. And they gave it to us in spades. They paid up our bills, except for the car. They weren't going to do that. They paid for the house. They paid for our apartment rent. They paid for the electricity. They paid for the internet, in fact, as well. Paid for all of that. And we started going to church on a very regular basis, which I didn't have a problem with it. I felt obligated at that point to do something about it. But again, this is all Mum. I mean, I was in college, not really all that much I can do. Following that, though, oh hey there, Calcimo. So they were paying our bills, and I was doing whatever I could. Oh, shut the fuck up, Calcilmo. You're a cunt. But they paid our bills from July on until now. And I was ordained a priest because I'd already been baptized. And I was also asked to be one of the leaders for the Boy Scouts, which I was completely alright with. I love the Boy Scouts. They're amazing. I'm actually an Eagle Scout. A lot of people would not guess that. Most people don't know that. And the Boy Scout Association does not know that I'm gay. Cool. I got the key. I don't have to sneak in. I did that on a previous game. But no. They ordained me a priest. I was the Boy Scout leader. And that was that for the time being. I already talked to him, you twat. Ugh. But started doing priest work and stuff. And of course I was already half disillusioned at that point, because I was gay. I didn't agree with half the stuff. But the real kicker came when it really came to me when I actually spoke out against them and their anti-homosexual ways. And I told them that it was ungodly. And the backlash from that proved to me several things, not the least of which was that religion, as I said, begets ignorance and stupidity, and just a whole lot of issues in general. Ooh, Dwemer Sword. I don't care. There's cool stuff to be had in this place. And at that point, I kind of realized that this really isn't the sort of place for me. And at that point, I decided that I was going to leave the church. But so long as I was actually still living with my mother, I was not going to do that. I did not want to jeopardize the fact that they were taking care of her and helping her to keep going in life. So, as I said, I wasn't going to jeopardize that. So I faked my way through everything. And by everything, I do in fact mean everything. To be honest, it kind of felt good through the entire time. In my head, I was like going, secret agent, Mormon man. Yeah, I know, it's really bad, but it sums it up pretty damn well. Oh, come on, open the lock, damn it. But recently, I was able to get I was able to watch the Mormon Temple Endowment Ceremony. Really, that's all that's fucking in there. I was able to watch the Mormon Endowment Ceremony. And at that point, after watching it, again, look it up on YouTube. You'll find someone who's taken a secret camera in there and has watched it. But it is very eye-opening, and it really just shows how deluded the Mormons are, and how just generally fucked up they are in the first place. So after watching it and realizing the Mormons are half satanic, half Masonic, and all bullshit, I decided that this is going to be the point. Now that I'm living on my own, I decided that this is the end. And I'm actually going to be going, and probably within the next week, after this video, I will be tendering my resignation to the Mormon Church. And I will have nothing more to do with them. And that will be that. Ooh, Baron's Eye Stone. Yeah! And I will have nothing to do with them ever again. And the really hard part will be breaking it to Mom. I've thought about how I'm going to do it. I'm still not entirely sure. I'm not sure how she's going to take it. But and I'm not going to actually tell her why I'm leaving, because I don't think that she could, in all good faith, continue taking advantage of the Mormon Church as she is, knowing this. So I'll tell her at a later time when she's in a better place for this sort of thing. But within the next week, maybe 2, depends on what happens, I will be leaving the Mormon Church forever. So, yeah. I mean, as great as they are, it's great. As much as they've helped my family, It really is. Oh shit. Oh my god. What the hell? Die. I do not approve of your existence sneaking up on me. Bastard. But I plan to leave. And that'll be that. So, as promised, I had something saved for the end. Okay, who are you assholes? No soul gem large enough. What do you have on you? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. But, anyway, as I said, a little extra special send-off. So, for those of you who actually showed any interest in what I said earlier, talking about my stepfather who abused my mother at the very end and walked out on us, he is an author. That's right. Well, not an author. He is an artist who has done comic books and a number of other things. And at this point, I'd like to urge you not to patronize him. There we go. I urge you to patronize him, but I urge you not to patron him. His signature name is R.E.B., Reb. Name is Robert Everett Brown. By all means, feel free to do whatever the hell you want. Little vigilante justice would not go awry, I'll tell you that much right now. But do what you want with this information. I don't care anymore. I mean, if you really want to help him, tell him he owes his stepson $3,000. Well, it's more than that. It's 3,822. But I'm not gonna. Yeah, I am gonna count it. Tell him he owes me that much money and tell him I want it now. And that's how I'm gonna end this, with me telling my loyal listeners. Are you guys loyal? Probably not. You guys are probably as fickle as I am. To go and harass him. Go and have fun with it. And if you actually catch this before Halloween, he's at Halicon. He is one of their featured artists. So go down there. Tell him how much you hate him. Tell him how you know that he's abused his wife. How he's abused his stepson. And make fun of him. Don't buy his shit. Yeah. No. Do whatever the hell you want, honestly. I'm being serious. Go do whatever the hell you want.